The Detroit Lions, day 3. A lot of moves taken here for the Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about the draft picks, the players whom the Lions selected to help out this football team, and a trade sending DeAndre Swift to the Philadelphia Eagles. But before we get into today's video, if you are not a subscriber to Detroit Lions Talk here by Chat Sports, then you need to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Why? Because I talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. Hit that like button. Let's get to 400 likes. Let's get this thing going. Start with the Swift trade. The Lions trade DeAndre Swift to Philadelphia Eagles. We get a 7th-round draft pick, a better draft pick in the 7th round swap there, and a 2025 4th-round pick. Is this a good deal? You look at it, you instantly think this is a bad deal because DeAndre Swift is a playmaker. But at the end of the day, with his injury history, no team was going to give up much for him. So you're getting a future 4th-round pick. You're not getting anything this year. You're not getting anything next year. You're just getting the 4th-round pick for 2025. It is what it is. It is what it is. Swift was not going to be here. We didn't have really any hold over the trade because everybody knew he's not going to be here. We save a little bit of cash flow, and he goes to the Philadelphia Bulldogs over there and will be utilized for that football team. But he's an injured-prone player. Getting Jahmyr Gibbs ended his future with the Detroit Lions. So we had really nothing to hold when it comes to Swift. We weren't going to win the trade because of that. So future 4th-round pick basically for him. So let me know in the comment section, did you like the trade? Y for yes and N for no will be the pinned comment for this video. Now, last night, the Detroit Lions did draft a player called Brodric Martin, defensive tackle, by the Detroit Lions. Trade a couple draft picks to go get him. We needed to get a run stuffer. He's about 330 pounds. He'll sit next to Liam McNeil. He can switch in and out as well. Help stuff the run. Again, we're getting a 3rd-round defensive tackle. Same with the Liam McNeil. We wanted to get one a little bit earlier. I think, let's be honest here, we'd probably like to get one in the 2nd round, potentially in the 1st round because of the need at defensive tackle. I still think we need help at pass rush and DT, so we'll see what they do in free agency at this point. They still have money to go out there and get some players on the market to help this team out, but I'm fine with Martin. I'm fine with trading up. I know he's given up a couple draft picks to move there. But like I've been saying for about a month now, folks, we were not going to be having all these draft picks on this team. We're going to have to trade a couple up because not all these guys are going to make the football team. So I'm fine with getting a defensive tackle or run stuffer. Still think that's a position the Lions need to look to continue to build upon and get better and at the interior defensive line. The Lions selected Colby Sorsdal, offensive line, in round 5. Perfectly fine with a round 5 offensive lineman. You could play the right tackle position. Maybe throw him in on the guard there. He's a developmental guy. You're not going to see a whole lot from him this year. But again, you could have done that because you do got Graham Glasgow for a year. You still have Big V. So it didn't need to be a guy in round 2 or round 1. I mean, I think we could have went that route, and it'd been fine if they would have got Osiris Torrance or Avila. But I also said it would be perfectly fine if they would have get a guy in round 5 to better the offensive line and have a guy who can develop. You don't need a guy really to start right there. So is he the greatest offensive line? No, but good. We got a great coach at the offensive line. Teach him up, coach him up, and maybe at some point in 2024, he could be a starter there that we would expect him to be. This year, I really don't see a lot for him to be a starter for the Detroit Lions. I see him being more of a rotational player and injury for rotation, and a guy that could be a future for the football team. That's what I see there for the Detroit Lions. So in the 7th round, the Lions did select a player, wide receiver Antoine Green. In the 7th round, we like about Antoine Green here, he's big at 6'2", not giantly big, but he's very fast, and I think that's really important here. We got some more speed, and we're looking to get speed, and it's going to help out with Jamison Williams also gone for the first 6 games due to the suspension. So he's a fast guy, and he runs a 4.47 40. He had 15 touchdowns at 1,700 yards. He is a sleeper wide receiver. I like what they're doing here. I thought getting a wide receiver late in the draft, whether it be 6th round, would have been great. So he's going to be able to get some separation, and he's a bigger body wide receiver. So I'm happy to get that. I know a lot of people are not going to be happy for the fact that we did go quite a bit of offense here. So we got running back, tight end, quarterback, offensive line, wide receiver. That was offensively. We got linebacker, defensive back, and defensive tackle in for the defense. And when you look at the defense, you say there's got to be more defense on this football team. Well, we did address defense a lot in free agency. I told you guys the Lions were going to get a lot of offense here. And I thought maybe be a little more defense, like a 5-4 type of deal, but they decided to do a little bit more offense there. And wide receiver, offensive line, running back, and tight end. The tight end one was probably the more questionable pick. But again, as Sam Laporta, a lot of people's boards, he was maybe the number 1 tight end out there. He's just got to be involved in this offense. We can't have a situation where he's not involved. He's got to be involved. When James Mitchell last year, you got Laporta this year. Okay, get involved. This can't be a situation like T.J. Hockenson, Eric Ebron, or anything like that. Hendon Hooker, obviously, coming in here, he's going to be quarterback 2 when he's healthy, and he will be competing for that job for next year for starting quarterback. I know a lot of people are Goff fans, but you don't draft a guy early in the 3rd round because basically it was one of the earliest 3rd-round picks on a guy that's just going to be holding the clipboard his whole tenure as a Detroit Lions. That's not happening. He's a very accurate quarterback, smart, athletic. When healthy, he's going to be something to compete with. So I told a lot of people Lions like Hendon Hooker. They liked him a lot. They got him. And guess what? He's a Detroit Lion now. So it is what it is for the people that are Goff fans. What I just got to say about this, just be Lions fans. You know, there's going to be transition with players and a roster that happens every single year, whether it be running back, quarterback, linebacker, defensive back, defensive tackle, edge, whatever. You may lose a favorite player, and it sucks when you do that. But as Lions fans, you got to support the players that we do got on this football team. I was a huge Quandre Diggs fan. Biggest Quandre Diggs fan out there. When he got traded to Seattle, it sucked, it stung, moved on from it. And that's the way, you kind of got to be. So Jared Goff will be the quarterback this year. There's absolutely no doubt, and he's earned that right to be the quarterback this year. But this is an insurance policy for, what if the Lions don't want to re-sign him? They want to have a quarterback on a rookie deal who could be similar to Jared Goff in yards in 2024. So that's one of those deals that it makes sense for the Detroit Lions. But overall, I'm fine with the draft. The Jahmyr Gibbs was a shocker at 12. Maybe at 18 I could have seen it. Jack Campbell, absolutely love it. I love Jack Campbell. Everybody knows this. Brian Branch was the best value pick in this year's draft, period. That was the best pick in this draft. To get a guy who's a top 10 draft pick at 45, an amazing value. And this guy's going to be a stud for the Lions defense. So, sorry, it wasn't 3 defenders, it's 4 defenders. So the Lions got 4 defenders in there. Brian Branch, absolute stud. Love the pick there. I didn't want to go safety early in the draft. I wanted to take Branch at 10. But we're talking about in second round, absolutely, you got to jump on it. I don't care if you're a position that's completely filled at one spot. You can't pass value when value is there. That's BPA mentality. That's the best player available mentality where you're just upgrading the roster the way it should be. Lions had a good draft. Happy with the draft. I know a lot of people may not be happy. That's fine. Wait till Sundays. Don't worry about what the Mel Kipers or Todd McShays or the Mike Kimber says. Don't even take my word for it. You may think this is an F draft. You may think it's an A+ draft. Let's all just wait for when they're on the field. That's what it all matters. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, our opinions, and we all have different opinions. It just matters what the hell these guys do in their tenure as a Detroit Lion. It really does. And so hopefully these guys turn out That's what we want. A lot of the Quinn players are gone. Swift, gone. Okuda, gone. You know, we're now becoming the Brad Holmes team. It's really starting to look that way, and it's exciting. And I do trust Brad Holmes and what he brings. But let me know your thoughts of this draft. Give Brad Holmes a draft grade. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to go B+. The tight end one wasn't for me. Look, I'm just happy he's not round 1. I probably would have went a different route, maybe guard there or defensive tackle. But I'm not going to get upset with Hendon Hooker in the 3rd round, great value. Brian Branch, absolute stunning value. Jack Campbell, I would have took him at 18. I didn't think they would do something like that, but they did. And when we're talking about 5th round and 7th round picks, something like that, it doesn't really matter. It's all about development. It's just going BPA, even if you had a position. I'm not going to argue. The Jahmyr Gibbs, a little bit early for me, but could he have been taken by 14 or 15? There was rumors about that. Very possible it could have happened. So we'll find out. If he's a stud, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as these guys pan out. They got to pan out. So all these players got to pan out and make the Detroit Lions the team that takes us to a Super Bowl. That's what we need to have, folks, is a Super Bowl winning football team. But I'm going to go ahead and go with B+ for this draft. I'm fine with it. I'm happy with it. We got videos dropping every single day here, folks. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. All these things, it does help the channel out. And if you're a Lions fan, you might as well watch it. You're going to get your latest news and rumors. You're not missing out on anything Lions. It may be delayed by an hour, but you're going to get my thoughts on this thing and how this thing is going to work out. We got upcoming events here. Training camp's going to be coming up, folks. I'll be at training camp like I am every year. Hang out. Give you the latest information. With that said, folks, adios.